Hey y'all, welcome back to Loving Them Gates, a Beyond the Gates weekly podcast where Brian H. Waters and Queen PR dissects the latest episodes of the new hit show Beyond the Gates. We'll break down all the plot twists, character arcs, and iconic moments with our unique perspectives and a whole lot of love. Welcome back to Loving Them Gates. I am Queen PR.
And Brian H. Waters here.
And we are recording this while missing our favorite show, Beyond the Gates. It's Labor Day week. And we've had to deal with reruns, and we really miss our favorite characters. We really miss our favorite shows. So we wanted to record some Beyond the Gates content for you guys about one of our favorite characters, and that is Eva Thompson.
Yes. You know it.
So I know that Eva is a very polarizing character. We get into it a lot in these Facebook groups about whether or not Eva is a good person. And it's a very interesting question because I've seen a lot of good comments about how she's not a good person and what makes examples of like, maybe she's not. I think she's a good person, but I want to dig deep into the character of Eva Thomas and who she is. And we're going to answer the question, is she a good person?
Yeah, because, she's my favorite character as of now. So,
okay.
What they say, you remember we watched the Iron Claw and he ranked his kids and he said, but the rankings can always change.
That is absolutely the case when we talk about them Gates, because every character is so layered.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen them go through a lot. So answering a simple question like that about this person who's not clearly the villain, she's not the protagonist, you know what I mean? So right. It's like, it's hard to even answer that question about any of the Gates characters. But of course, Eva being who she is and having done the things that she's done and all of the background about Eva, you kind of have to ask yourself that question. So first, before we answer that question, let's have some background.
Let's go
on Eva Thomas. So I enjoy reading up on the characters because you think you kind of know everything about them already. And like, if someone was to ask you like, oh, who's that? You would like know who they are and everything. But when I read up on them, I'm like, oh, I did not know that. I was excited to kind of dig deep. So Eva, of course, as you know, Leslie's daughter, they lived in Chicago. And they moved to DC when her stepfather died. And when you read it on Wiki, it really says allegedly, like supposedly that is why they moved and whatever happened with Eva's stepfather and Leslie's ex-husband. Alan, who they bring up. And in soap opera land, I cannot wait until he pops up. Like later on, this is Eva's stepfather. So the first episode we meet Eva is in the second episode. She's with Leslie, and they're visiting Ashley with Ashley's mom for her first day at the hospital. So we were talking offline before we started recording, and I was like, wait, is this wiki page correct? Like, why would Eva be visiting Ashley on her first day? And then I forget that we meet Leslie as just another, resident who likes to gossip about everything that's happening behind them gates with Jan and the other women. And then come to find out, obviously that's not true, but I'm like, oh, okay, so there's the connection there. So that's how we meet Eva. And we meet Eva already as a dreamer, someone who wants more than what she's getting in life, more than what, her mom and Alan have been able to give her. And she's inspired by Ashley's achieving her goal of becoming a nurse. And she wants to do the same with her hairstyling and in her future. So we already meet Eva in this place where she's kind of still close with her mom in that old life, but also like there has to be more out there. But this is also when we learn that Leslie has some issues that she is going to have Eva help her with. And she says, I'm gonna help you. So this is where we kind of see the start of what their storyline is gonna be, but we don't know exactly what it is in the connection yet. So do you remember your first impression of Eva's character?
Yeah, my first impression was just like, okay, let's see where this goes. And the thing that I remember that jumps out is when her and her mother were kind of plotting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because before she was kind of just like, okay, this is early. So like you, I forgot, and then when I see the scene, I'm like, oh yeah, she was interested in what Ashley was doing. But I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know she would have this big of an impact on my fandom. So
Right.
my first impression was like, what you mean? Who are y'all two to be sitting up there trying to wreck this man's life?
Mm-hmm.
So that threw me off. So that was my first impression. I ain't gonna say I had a disdain for her. Like Bill Hamilton, the first day, didn't like
Yeah.
him, right? I didn't have that
What?
for Eva. Yeah. He cheated on Danny. He married the mistress.
Yeah. How you cheat
But
on?
I
Oof.
didn't have that same disdain. Right. So yeah, but that was my first impression. It reminded she kind of reminded me of a cartoon character. I just can't, as I
Mm.
said, I can't remember which cartoon it was, but she reminded me of um like the hyenas on the Lion King, like very
Oh my
conniving, but not
god.
that threatening. That's how.
Oh, I see. I see. I see. Like, we're gonna get her kind
Yeah.
of vibe. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
gotcha. Okay, so I also instantly liked Eva for some reason. I was just like, it's something about her that feels like I don't know. I feel like I could relate to her. Maybe because she's just a
Mm-hmm.
normal girl. She's not privileged. She's not a part. She's not behind them gates. So I don't know, something about that. And I love dreamers and ambitious people, and she came off as someone that was like, I'm gonna do more kind of vibe. So I was like, okay, I'm already
Mm-hmm.
here. And she was with the shits with her mom. She was like, nah, actually, yeah, I got you. We're gonna right that wrong for you together. So we meet Eva in that second episode, and then slowly but surely she gets the job. She gets the
Yes.
job after an unfortunate accident, of
Mm-hmm.
course. And she sees this as an opportunity to advance, but of course, it is all a part of the plan. And the plan is to eventually out Ted for all of his secrets, the affair, the illegitimate child, because Leslie raised Eva to believe that Ted knew about her and abandoned her and just like didn't care about her all of this time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is why Eva is so willing to help her mom get revenge on him and get what they rightfully deserve. And of course, Ted and being a part of the Dupree family, they're all very wealthy. They all have a lot of power, a lot of influence, which is why Leslie was able to kind of get scared off and like had to hide Eva and everything like that. So now Eva's thinking she's been abandoned by her father. She already has these issues. She goes into this workplace, but the twist is that Ted and Nicole are really nice people. They're really nice
Mm-hmm.
people. She is respected at that job. She's really good at the job. She enjoys it. She likes being in that environment. And then we see the tension between her and Kat, because
Yep.
Kat from the jump was like, there's something about her that I don't trust. I get a bad vibe. We need to watch out for her. So there's that relationship that was initially there. She was referred by their friend, Mona, right? That's her name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mona was the one that referred Eva for the job in the first place, who was close to the Dupree family because her daughter is the one that was hurt. So she was like, you know what? This is a great temporary thing, why my daughter heals. So you have that. Then you have now Eva is struggling with the plan because she's just like, I kind of don't want to embarrass these people. I kind of don't want to jeopardize my job and my career. They don't deserve that. So she's starting to kind of go against her mom. She's like, I don't know if we should do this. Let's slow down the timeline. I think she also was contemplating on even like, should we just tell them in a normal way kind of thing too? Because she's also like, my reputation is on the line. Kat never trusted her, kept getting more and more extreme with the ways that she was going to expose Eva. And she meets Kat eventually meets Leslie. It's like a whole, whatever her name and wig was that day. So things are now getting really, really, really tangled.
Not name and wig.
And right, exactly. So I think we see Eva in this space where she is very conflicted every day with everything that's going on. And I think that's a long period of time this is happening. And she's like kind of trying to hide everything from Kat, and Kat is coming for her and everything. So during this time, we just think, she's just this like conniving, two-timing person, but also she might have a conscience. Did you think at some point that she was just horrible for doing this, or did you kind of understand where she was coming from? And when you saw kind of that turn in her character, what were you thinking?
I never liked the deceitfulness, right? I understood why, as much as I ain't like it, I understood why her mother was doing it. And then I understood why she would support her mother. Don't mean I liked it. But when that turn came, I said, okay, I'm rocking with you because you really respect the fact of what the Richardsons was doing for you. And the fact that she, and you could see that coming, especially they said, no, we're going to give you a job. We're going to pay for you to go to school. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh, wow,
these people like you. They looking out for you.
Mm-hmm. I respected her for trying to go to her mother, but that's when I realized when she was seeing Nicole, Leslie, Dana was seeing Nicole. That was one thing I saw of her not being fully up here. Yeah. But when she walked, when she said, no, they're luring you in, and this, that, and the other. Because as a parent, you're supposed to love people more if they're willing to do for your children.
Right.
And she didn't. But that's when I was like, okay, you know what? Eva is a good person.
Yeah. I think that said a lot, because I always vouch for Eva being a good person because she's dealing with her mother. It is not easy to just go against that person, especially when y'all been ride or die with each other for your whole entire lives.
Yep.
So you can't really hold a lot of that against her to a certain extent. And you're going to listen to your mom. You're going to believe them at least. Why would Eva think that she was lying about Ted knowing that she existed?
Exactly.
So you think she thinks Ted is just as horrible as Leslie, or should I say Dana? What is her real name?
Let's call her Dana for the show.
Let's call her Dana. Okay.
For the show.
So for the show. But I always sympathized with Eva in that position, especially because now they're helping your career. They want to help you. They respect you. They value you. They're welcoming you into their fold, which they really didn't have to do. She's the temp, essentially, and they embraced her in so many different ways to where it was almost like we would even ask ourselves when we were watching the episodes, like, what's going to happen if Homegirl come back? Because they really like Eva in this role. So it's going to be very interesting. I also like how she is such a goat. Like, she's such a, she obviously catches on quick. We talk about how she's street smart compared to Kat.
Yes.
And we'll definitely do a Kat and Eva comparison video at some point, especially because we're going to dive into that love triangle with Tomas later on in this deep dive, and we'll do a separate video about that as well. But she's like us. She's a hustler. She's ambitious. She came in, she was like, these are going to be the new systems. These are going to be the new this, to the point where when homegirl came back, she was like, I can't do it. I need her to come teach me. And I really like that about
She was
Eva.
efficient.
So she's efficient and she cared. She cared about Nicole's business, and she wanted to make sure that she was doing everything that she could for Nicole and Ted. And then, of course, it comes a time where Dana is just not willing to sit, especially once they got the DNA. And it was confirmed. Yeah. They were able to confirm that Ted was her biological father. There was no stopping Dana. She was like, we're going. I have a dress. I have the perfect occasion, which was their anniversary party. And this is when we really see Eva choose. As much as people are like, oh my God, about her mom, but as she did choose Ted and Nicole that night. Maybe it was a little too late, but she did try her best. And she even like said it in front of everyone. Like, she betrayed her mother essentially in order to protect them. And nothing was going to stop Dana from her nonsense. Nothing ever stops her from the nonsense. And it didn't work. And now we see Eva lose everything at this point in the show. She loses her relationship with Nicole and Ted. Ted now has learned that she's his daughter, but in the worst way possible. And now he needs some space from the situation. Dana's upset because Eva turned on her and chose him over her. So she was kicked out of the house at one point. Now she's also the town pariah with her mom because you just embarrassed and ruined the golden couple of Fairmont Crest, essentially. Because that party, in the beginning of the anniversary party, they're filming and everyone is doing testimonials about how perfect Nicole and Ted are, their relationship goals. When I see them, I see love. And then this whole thing blows up. Now Eva's all alone. We see her vulnerable, and then she has to deal with Kat.
Yeah, that was the part right there. I was like, uh-oh, because like we said it, like Kat was right. She was over the top for sure, but she was right. So it was dealing with that. I felt bad though, because I knew there was nothing, at least for a few weeks, she could say to Nicole to have her feel differently. Because at the end of the day, she was a part of the plan.
Right.
Whether she changed her mind, she was a part of the plan.
Right. That's true.
But I always felt like, even though she was a part of the plan, Ted had to suck that up. Yeah. At the end of the day.
Because that's your dirt. No matter how it came out, that's your dirt.
It's your dirt. And that's your daughter. That's your offspring. That's your blood. Get a test, but you know what you sent Bill Hamilton to do. And Bill Hamilton didn't get the job done. Mm-hmm. So this came back on him. And I was like, you still, at the end of the day, you owe it to that little girl to be her father. Yeah. And I felt bad for her, especially when she was like, she went to him and you could see he was still angry.
Yeah.
Because on one end, he's not seeing his daughter. He's still seeing this woman
that
who
blew up my life, that I trusted and was in my fucking house for fucking 6 months or however long it was.
After he was getting ready to give her so much, everything you said, coupled with the fact he was getting ready to pay, like, give her a fortune, considering where he believed she came from. So that part, I was like, man. Yeah. This is wild. This is crazy.
She was down bad. And you mentioned how she was always a part of the plan, even though at some point she tried to do the right thing. And you're right. And she was doing a lot of lying.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying that at first Leslie was her surrogate mother. Remember that?
Yep.
That they weren't biologically related. Like she was just someone that like looked out for Eva. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
Mona was so upset because she was just like, yo, y'all lied to me. Like, yeah, this whole friendship, this whole relationship, this whole entire time was all a fucking lie. And
Yeah.
Eva was going along with it and she was lying to a lot of different people. So at the end of the day, that's not a good trait to have. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you were able to come up with all of this and play this role for all of these months. And I'm now thinking about when she would stare at the family photos and picture like herself in them when she was in Nicole's office and stuff. I was like, oh my God.
Man, and I forgot about that. You know, like I said, we've been watching, well over 100 episodes, so the show has come so far. She
Right.
really did used to sit there.
She did. Yep. And it was like, oh, poor thing, poor thing. So after kind of the smoke clears a bit,
Mm-hmm.
Ted does warm up to her. He does want a relationship with his daughter now. He's very delusional about how close her and Kat are ultimately going to be. And can I just say on a side note, I don't think people gave Kat enough props for being right that entire fucking time. And she's better than me. Because I would have been like, oh, okay, because I told y'all she was shady though. Like from Jump Street. And I was the one that looked bad because I went crazy and I was obsessed about it because Kat knew she was right. There was something off about Eva, and now learning that they're half sisters.
Yeah, this was the rivalry of the century already. What I mean, because it's something about you being jealous, quote unquote, because it's like she shouldn't have no reason to be jealous, but it's like, wait, somebody else getting my daddy's attention. You remember, she's baby girl.
Yep.
It's Kat and Martin. So she's the baby girl. And so it's like, who's this other woman? And y'all just giving her the world? Something. I don't like
and
that.
y'all
Something ain't
loved her
right.
from Jump Street. Y'all
Then
giving
to
her
find
all
out
this
this person,
access. You know, it
and to
can't be
find out
easy to
she's your
watch.
sister? No, bro.
Right. And
No,
there's
not at all.
hardcore proof. Like there's not even any doubt there. Like y'all are half sisters. And she's trying, and Eva does try at some point. They never really got along, but there is a point in time where she tries when Ted hires Eva to work in his office and asks Kat to help her with things because it was new. It was a medical office. So she wanted Kat to kind of show her the ropes. And we see Kat, up to her old tricks and tricks Eva. And I like how Eva handled that situation where she didn't tell Ted, she didn't snitch on Kat. She did confront Kat and like, yeah, bitch, I know what you did. You're not slick, and I fixed the situation, and you're mad that I wish I could like take that clip of Eva pressing her about this because she played that shit so fucking perfectly. Like the whole shit. And you could just see Kat's face gradually as the conversation is going. Cause then she shook when Eva comes to talk to Ted, and you just see how shook Kat is. And the way she didn't even snitch, cause yeah, bitch, I don't need to snitch. I got you already. Like, I got you. You're like, that face crack that you got right now is the most satisfying thing that I could ever see. And you're going to always be shook because you don't know whether or not I'm going to expose you, even though it ends up coming out eventually.
Yeah, that was the first time we saw that. When you really think about it, that was the first time we saw Kat shook, or a time where she didn't have the upper hand. She's usually the aggressor. She's annoying, right?
She's annoying.
She's
I love her
annoying.
though. She's annoying.
Man, look, I can't because I can't dislike her because I get it, but she's annoying.
She's very.
But now her annoyance, like, in real, like, what's happening now is she's using, like, this is what my barber always say after he give me a shape up. All right, bro, good job. You take care, be safe, use your powers for good, not evil.
I can see why he would say that.
So she don't use her powers. She probably using her powers for good.
Yes, she is. She really, really is. I can't wait for the new episodes. One, but anyway, I want to see what happens, particularly because I don't think Eva and Kat are ever going to be on the same page.
Really?
I don't. I think that's going to be one of those things where it's just like they're always going to just like bump heads. And I think it will have to be something where Eva helps Kat in something where only like save her life kind of thing.
Okay.
For Kat to kind of come around. Or maybe if her parents get back together. Because she's always going to blame Eva for her parents' divorce.
Oh, now that's a good point, because, this takes me, you got me crossing over into the YR space, the Young and the Restless space. And the two brothers I'm thinking about is Nick Newman and Adam Newman, because Adam is sort of the black sheep of his family, Victor having 4 kids. And you would think it's like this dynamic of wanting the father's love, but it's really not. It's Adam is so much like his father that they butt heads, right? Like, you ever hear somebody say, you two can't get along because you're just alike? That's Adam and Victor. And then Nick is like the good son, but those two, they get along when they have to, right? And then they find something that's like, here y'all go again. So I kind of see it that way. Before I was like, boy, I posted on the Loving Them Gates fanbook page. I said, when the day these two ever get along, look out. But listening to you, that's why I love doing the show. I'm like, you're right. She is going to always equivocate Eva with mom and dad split because of you. Now, I still got hope.
Okay.
I still got hope because it's got to be something that get these two ladies on the same page.
I'm going to tell you right now what's not going to get them on the same page. Tomas. Once you drop a man in it, unless he try to play himself and they see, actually, I take all of that back. Exposing Tomas for the fuckboy that he is going to bring them on the same page, I think.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Because I think both of them are the kind of women that are going to be like, let's say he does try to play them and it comes out, like, I can see both of them being like, who the fuck do we think he is?
Right. You know what bothered me? I should say this. I was hoping Eva would totally, because, I'm like, we asked this question, is Eva a good person, right? What would have made this so much easier for me to understand is when she picked herself and said, I'm tired of being second. I'm not going to be your rebound, your number 2, your backup, whatever. What would have gave me more points for her in the good person column? We say bros before hoes. I don't know what they say, sis before, I don't know. If she would have jumped and went to Kat, even though Kat wouldn't have believed her, but if she would have took that initiative and said, look, girl, don't waste your time. Even if she ain't say exactly, she could have warned her, because what made me and millions of other viewers angry with Tomas was when he took Kat's gift. And Eva, she
did you call her gift?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much.
But he could have, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, bro, are you It's serious.
He should have never did that.
And
Especially because, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and the thing that made me mad was that Eva knew what he was about, and she's still sharing her book with this dude, just giving him conversation. Because from a man's standpoint, is there's still a chance, right? She's in the driver's seat, not him, but he's thinking there's still a chance. Maybe she want to see what that's like. Because she's hitting that little thing.
She thinks you do.
Because right. And that's what's making. Well, she's not experienced. So, like I said, she's going to hit her with
I'm just saying.
She going to hit with the angle of, what she's telling him. Maybe you just need to dance a little bit more. Some crazy shit like that. But I'm like, come on, Eva. Like, he ain't even all that. Like, if I'm
no, he's really not. He's super dry.
They need another man.
I'm sure there's some chocolate behind them gates Eva can, get involved with. Not freaking Tomas. Like, just ill. But yeah, you're right. Because even though they I think have the most chemistry out of the three, like, I think they should have been together. They have more in common, obviously. But when you was kissing on him and he was in your hotel room and y'all got to sleep together, that was still Kat's man.
Yep.
Even if he was like, I'm questioning things, that's still her man. That's still a man that she's involved with. And girl code is, I think, what we use. We mean like bros before hoes. But it's just, like, Eva did cross the line. As much as I was rooting for Eva and Tomas, we're asking the question, is Eva a good person? You almost slept with somebody's man and watched him lie to his girlfriend about why he was in your hotel room. When y'all were literally 2 seconds away from doing the damn thing. So,
and that was leverage. I hate to say it, but when you think about it, that's what makes me say, how good of a person is she? Just losing the points because it's at the end of the day, now she always got a story. This is my cousin always say. Don't give people a story. Now she got a story because she could always go back and say, girl, he was in my bed. I stopped him. She had her shirt open. I stopped him. You lucky.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I could have had your man months ago. And there are times where Kat is wilding out, and it's like you do want to fucking hit her below the belt with that kind of stuff, just to like see the look on her face. And let's not forget that Kat was in the room when Tomas turned Eva down. Like, Eva came, was kind of like, yo, what's up, basically. And he was like, I love my girlfriend. So it's not like Kat isn't aware that Eva has wanted her man. She just can't say how she knows that for sure, because why were you breaking and entering into somebody's room and touching shit? But so is Eva a good person? She's the daughter of Dana. Which says a lot, and we will definitely do a huge deep dive on Dana, Leslie, Sherry, whatever the fuck you want to call her. But she is a complex person.
And
it is hard to say, especially with everything that we've gone through with her time on the show. I think we're at 113 at the time of record. No, 119. Episode 119 at the time of recording this, but she is living in a hotel room that Ted is letting her stay in. She's getting closer to Ted. Martin has invited her to his family home, and she got close to his kids. So there is some light at the end of the tunnel there, and I kind of saw that, and I think Eva needs that and wanted it. But then Dana finds out that she is the daughter of one of the Articulate founders. So Eva is the granddaughter of Barbara, who was tragic into her story, but she was, one of the founding members that didn't get to experience it. So now Dana has all of this money because Anita, out of her guilt, Anita Dupree, set up a trust so that Barbara's family would get all of the earnings that she would have gotten if she was still in the Articulates. And that's from like Anita's share kind of thing. Like it's basically come out of Anita Dupree's pocket, which is insane. Like imagine you learned that your villain, like you're literally giving millions of dollars to your villain to support not only her but like her lineage, like forever. Like that has to be crazy. And we don't even know right now what's going to happen. But Eva is watching her mom get this news. Now they finally don't have to worry about money anymore. Because that's also a big part of Eva's character, is the fact that her and her mom have struggled. You know, they were not privileged. And Ted, being a wealthy man, could have helped them a lot during their life. So Eva resenting her father growing up, thinking like, you left us, you know, poor, you know, before Alan, we had nothing. Now after Alan, we have nothing. And you could have let me be a part of your, you know, very privileged family. So now Eva is thinking, you know, my mom is crazy. But hopefully, now that she's secure in life and she doesn't have to worry about money and everything, all the devious things that she did was because we were struggling. She wants to see her mom now become a good person, because now they're not struggling anymore. And she's genuinely disappointed when she sees that all of that money did not take the crazy out of Dana. But I do think it's something to be said about whether or not he was a good person, if just her idealism.
Yes.
Just the fact that she wants better for her mom, to the point where she doesn't even really care about the money. She more cares about having more family.
Yeah.
Which I think is another point towards her being a good person, because she could be just as devious as her mother right now. She could just be I'm not going to sit here and say that she wasn't stunting when they got that country club membership and they was able to stunt on Cat. But then that's what you do with people like that, though. You know what I mean? But she still wanted to lay low. She still wanted to like leave the Dupree family alone. Like, we have money now. We can live anywhere. Why are we doing this? So I think that was something to be said.
Well, I did like the fact you brought up family, because one of the things we almost forgot about was the fact that like Martin invited her in, and you know, he said, "Well, this is your aunt," and she immediately took to her niece, trying to help her and stuff. So you could see that desire to be a part of a family. You know, so it wasn't all about vengeance. It was
family.
Yeah, you know, it's like, yeah, her mother gonna be her mother, but it's like, well, you know, if my dad didn't know about me and he has his family, I want to get to know them. Sure, I got this crazy half sister, but shoot, if my half brother's decent, well, let me get to know him.
Yeah. And it's decent people, and she learned being in their world that the Duprees are decent people. They're not these evil villains that she was raised to believe. And the thing with being raised by Dana is she was also betrayed in that whole situation, which I think why a lot of people sympathize with her after a while. Because imagine growing up believing that your father deserted you and abandoned you and didn't give a fuck about you all of these years. Like, she's in her early 20s. So imagine being raised like that, your mom dogging him out constantly. Then you're put into this plan. You also have a strong suspicion and know that your mom nearly killed someone twice to make this whole shit happen, almost ruining her relationship with her father. I'm so glad that Ted is, you know, opening things up for her. But she also has to deal with that as well.
Yeah, she do.
And we got to remember that.
And, you know, but, you know, we talk about how Leslie raised her. She did raise an intelligent hustler.
Yes, she did.
You know, and there are some morals that Eva had. Like I said, we talked about, she was about to, I do think she was using as leverage in the book and everything, but she didn't sleep with her sister's boyfriend. She did want to change and tell Nicole and Ted sooner. And I think it was also because they were good people. You know what I mean? I think that was
Yeah,
even way before they had started unveiling the red carpet of gifts. So
that's true.
she has some good in her.
I think she does. I think all in all, Eva is a good person. I think she's human, especially with everything that Kat has put her through. So if I was her, I would also be getting my jabs in whenever I can. And
Mm-hmm.
if that's me flirting with your boyfriend and knowing deep down inside that if I really wanted him, I could probably have him, and I almost did, I would probably take that opportunity to do so. I mean, I'm not a horrible person, but
Mm-hmm.
Kat was talking to her crazy and
She
doing some
was.
wild
That's the
shit.
thing.
And Eva, I know she did a lot, but it's like my existence is not my fault. So you
Boom.
attack me and everything if I didn't particularly do anything. And it's hard to say that Eva didn't do anything. Like obviously she did a lot, but at the same time, like Kat, like calm your ass down. I'm gonna have to you know, show you what's
Mind
up.
you who
And
I am.
she does any chance that she can get. So I would like to also see, this is so random, but I want to see other people in Eva's life. Like, does she have any other friends? Does she
Yeah,
have
I
like
agree.
coworkers from like her hair spot? Because I would like to know who, because I was writing lists of like characters that we should talk about that she's connected to, obviously. And I was like Tomas, Kat, Ted, Nicole, her mom, and I was like, is there no one else in Eva's
Mhm.
life besides these people? So I would love to see people that know Eva outside of this world, outside of the dilemmas and the circumstances of like how we met Eva. And
They went to fly somebody in from Chicago. I think that's probably what happens. This is a
yeah,
prediction. Mother gets
right.
money. They move.
That actually
They
sounds
probably
great.
won't get behind the gate.
Mhm.
And there's always that friend visiting. They'll come in and visit. That's the way.
Okay.
Book
I
it.
am very intrigued to see that. I also want to just note quickly as well that we also seen another side, a darker side to Eva almost when she was like depressed and everything and she was going to Joey Armstrong's casino. She was like drinking. Do you remember that? Like when she was first dealing with
Yeah.
being a town pariah. And that's when her and Tomas honestly got close because he sympathized with her and actually talked to her, which is another like shady thing on Tomas's part. I can't wait to talk about him because
Hmm.
anyone that your girlfriend, quote unquote, don't fuck with as much as Eva. I mean, Kat doesn't fuck with Eva, and you heard about everything that happened. Why you keep killing her? Why I walk in and you in her face? Period. Period. Like there's no in between about that, and
That's
even knowing that she got that is a flex.
that's when Tomas not used to dating a black woman.
And
No
he
matter.
juggling too.
Yeah, that's when because that's rule number one. There was no reason. And then when he said, "Well, maybe you should understand where she's coming from," I'm like, have you lost your freaking mind?
Are you kidding me?
Like, okay, all right. I thought, in all honesty, that's when I thought he was going to lose Cat.
Me too. Me too. And I honestly wish he would have just chose Eva. And I know there's so many reasons probably why he didn't, and we'll get into it in a separate video.
Mm-hmm.
But they still flirt with each other. There's still chemistry there. And I think Eva is still kind of toying with whether or not she wants to, cross that line.
Oh yeah,
So it's still up in the air if
Cat got,
Eva
I
is
think in her head it's like Cat got one more chance.
Yep.
She got
Yo, this
one more.
bitch cross me one more time, I'm gonna fuck your man. Period. Period. Like, and then it's gonna be like checkmate. But we had talked about this before offline about whether or not we think Eva would end up like going there with Tomas. And the reason why I don't think she will is because she doesn't want to look bad in Ted's eyes.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's the
Because I think she likes because now in Ted's mind, somebody wrote in a Facebook group like, "Yo, Ted hate Cat," and when it comes to Eva or something like that, and I was like, "That's hilarious," because she is now the heel, wrestling terms, the villain in this. Like out of the two of them, Eva is the
Yep.
face, and Cat is the heel, and I think Eva wants to keep it that way. You mentioned leverage. You
Mm-hmm.
mentioned all of that. Also, like, that's her new dad. Like, oh my God. Anytime I'm like, Daddy, that's how Eva be.
Yeah.
With Ted.
Yep.
So I don't think, and I think that's the only thing that would probably stop her. But then again, you never know. And then that's what we'll see. Is Eva a good person? It is up in the air if she is. But I do think she has a good heart and she has
Yeah.
good intentions most of the time.
We're going to find out.
We are going to find out. I really enjoyed looking into one of our favorite characters, one of the most polarizing characters right now behind them Gates. And I
Yes.
am so happy that our Facebook page is growing and we are
Mm-hmm.
able to interact with more gatekeepers. So please take a second, click the link in the description, and give our Facebook page a like. And if you want to follow Six Heart Media on Instagram, we are also growing that page. This podcast is brought to you by Six Heart Media Productions. And if you want more Beyond the Gates content, why can I never say that word? If you want more Gates content, make sure you hit up our YouTube channel. There's a playlist there. You can also listen to this podcast everywhere you listen to your podcast. And you can also find our power rankings every week, because next week, our new episodes, we will definitely be doing another power ranking. And if you want to see us do deep dives on other characters, other plot lines, let us know in the comments if you think Eva is a good person or not. We want to know why in the comments on Facebook and everywhere. And we cannot wait to see you next week.